SI. And oh my, Gibby, we're going to Clubhouse. What any thoughts about this? So how are you feeling before we get into the ban phase?
I'm really looking forward to this one. The fact as well that we're going to see Club and Bank again. 2 maps we've seen already played, so maybe we could see some, repeats of some strats we saw earlier, some changes. Normally, this is the point where I would guess my bans, but we just don't know what the bans are going to be now because obviously the most recent patch has changed the way people view a lot of the ban phase. Thatcher gone, though. It's still not that big of a surprise, is it, Whippet?
No. I mean, it's a boring ban. I mean, it makes sense strategically. I understand why outsiders have done it, but, puts me to sleep a little bit every time I see this ban coming out, but not too surprising, and Habana will be the next one to go again. We gotta think about Clubhouse. What's one of the most influential hard breach operators? It's going to be Habana, so she's going to get pulled away and not being able to get used. So the Queen of Hatches is no more, and the second ban coming out from Team Secret this time will be that Kaade. I have a feeling this is going to be a very standard arrangement of bans, and the last one's going to be one of those kind of generic power pick operators, and Gibby will be Azami, Valkyrie, Mira. Who will it be?
Drum roll, please. Azami. Yeah, that's no surprise. Once again, an operator that can completely change the layout of any site. When you think of this map in particular, the first place that always pops up to me is playing on top of rafters with Azami, so not a surprise to see that ban coming on in, but it does mean that we will see a couple of different strategies used to defend that area of the map. Church Arsenal will be the first dance floor for this one, and looking at the operators that are being brought, we saw Goyo being used pretty well a little bit earlier. Malusi obviously a fantastic at slowing down high-paced attacks as well. If you're Team Secret, though, how important is it that round one, not necessarily that you win it with it, but you have a strong first round, even if it does end in a 1v1, 2v1 scenario, you got to start well.
Well, if you end up in a 1 versus 1, you want to press tab and really hope it's not Shepard. You want to really hope it's not him. He bought like 4 1vx's, 8 plants in the previous series. You don't want to be against this man on fire, and he's been so good so far. Outsiders will be hoping that kind of magic will happen again, if they need to call upon it, of course. But for Secret, you said perfectly. Start as you mean to go on. You're on the offensive side. Clubhouse is pretty neutral, 50-50 in this. So let's see how they'll fare up. And I like the castle getting brought out. It's not going to be used for that 2-1-2 strategy, or what people like to call the SSG style roam, because that's not effective anymore, but it's going to slow down the Team Secret's entryway, and they do have a pretty big lack of soft destruction available to them.
Now, interesting straight off the bat is if you can take Logi control on the top floor, Kitchen's been castled off, so you can take Kitchen for free if you get Logi. And that means that you can play the vertical straight away, but you do need to control that section of the map. So it's a decision by outsiders early that is a strange one, but will it pay off? Savage snuck his way in, hoping to maybe find an early opener, but retreats back on through, and Dan's just going to use these castles to play inside of Bar with his teammate and, maybe fall towards Kitchen if needs be at that point.
Joystick, a problem to be solved upstairs as well on that roam presence. He's just going to walk around. He'll get himself down into the outside Secret now. Look at Savage there, on that Nook. Watch him and Slevin alternate on those high-impact operators throughout this matchup. They were very effective against Navi. How will they fare against the side of outsiders? So far, minute 50 left, no casualties, no damage done, and the dirt is soft. This is a pretty free push if they want to get towards it, but they're worried about this entire expansive roam, and they're trying their best to deal with it, trying their best to try and shut it down, and it looks like for the time being, at least, they've done a good job of getting map control, a lot of posturing. Time to get yourselves a little bit closer and put pressure on site directly.
Yeah, so Joystick is going to play by the janitor inside blue. Savage doesn't want to reveal his head too much. Joystick had his moments at the last time as well. It's always good to see him back inside of competitive play. And they've got control of that moto hatch. Not sure if they've got kitchen hatch just yet. By the look of Dan's positioning, they don't. So that's another little piece of the puzzle that they could go for. But most of the time has been spent so far just gaining control of ground floor. We're already inside the final minute. Kitchen hatch is still closed, and we don't seem like we're any closer to getting it open.
The opening pick, though, goes in favor of Kendra, who's already dropped his way inside of Moto. A use of a frag grenade to get Savage access inside of Dirt. Dan left in DBNO, but doesn't matter. Pasha once again finds a huge impact. Savage, the backstab now muted and quiet. 40 seconds, but Grubby, well, he's going to get Dan burning through his own flames. And every second that ticks away, you begin to feel that Outsiders might be able to steal a victory here. As always, gets one the Kendrew. Pasha, he's locked inside of Dirt, but Secret, they seem to be disconnected right now. And 20 seconds, Gibby, here comes the pressure.
Yeah, Beeper reveals the fact that there is a player inside of Oil, but you still got Grubby just sneaking in through Moto, trying to work out whether he can get that execute on. Astro's in a very good position to cover him, but he misses the first couple of shots, and that is huge. Grubby is going to fall, as always, gets the kill, and it's all down to Astro with 2 seconds left. We're not going to have to wait the whole time, though. Round 1 taken by Outsiders, and you gotta say, it almost did come across as if that ground floor setup did confuse Secret a little bit.
They made a maze. They kind of walked Secret into a maze going, come on, what's in here? And they couldn't find their way out. They got lost, they got discombobulated, and they just wasted a lot of time. Like, yes, you had Joystick upstairs, but pretty quickly he moved down back to site just to stay alive. And what Kendrew drops in, gets an opening pick. The amount of denial that Outsiders have, and I think this might be a storyline to keep building on. They like to just use a lot of utility that burns away time. Their effectiveness, this use of these Goyos, has been very good so far today, and that continues. It could be a really big problem for Team Secret and anyone else they might have to face as this competition continues.
Yeah, definitely will be, and you've added the frost mats in play as well, so you hope that nobody on Team Secret will step into one, but we've seen Sleben fall for... They have a frost mat. There you go. But Sleben, he should know better than most. He's already stepped into one today, but thankfully for him, they were able to go ahead and win that round against Navi. But it is a top floor. We're going to Jim. It is a little bit extended across the top floor like you'll normally tend to see in the scenario, and really in and around cache CCTV is a very important area to hold.
I mean, there's a double-edged sword to that argument, okay? So it's critical. It can be very key to lots of team setups. But you can sometimes, if you have the right resources and the right setup are facing you, you can kind of just ignore it. And while I don't think we're going to watch Team Secret do that, they're going to try and cook up a little bit of pressure inside of construction early, as a single wall is opened up just outside of Logi, and that's going to make it a very uncomfortable process to try and stay inside of construction.
It splits the defense. It means that if they are trying to hold CCTV cache, now that you've got that void in the middle, it makes it very hard to fall back on the side if you are trying to go for a retake. Now, Astro makes his way inside garage. Now, he did look like he had a drone going in a little bit ahead of him to get some information, but Pasha with the Valk knows exactly where he is. That information will be fed, but there is always stepping up.
Absolutely perfect. That's why they are the team that we have so much hype for. Look at the experience, look at the coordination, absolutely brilliant. And they get the job done. Opening pick, Outsiders grab it, always looks for a second. He'll find a lot of damage on the Grubby, takes a little bit in return. Shotgun out and ready, and nade's getting cooked just over his head. It will land, but not quite perfectly, and not enough to save Grubby either. Savage has to take matters into his own hands, gets one, Sleben finds the other one on the joystick, and very quickly, a rapid trade, a rapid flurry of kills gets us to a 3 versus 3. Tensions begin to build, calm nerves begin to settle. Minute 20 left to work.
Yeah, Outsiders now fall back and turtle on site as Sleben has the hatch, spots the fact that there is a Goyo inside of Logi. So hop on the drone again, work out exactly where he is, but he's gone. He's going to pop the utility and just delay a little bit of time, but boom goes the main jacuzzi wall now, as well as Team Secret try to just pinch in these 3 members. Ooh, they're going in 3 1v1s, but Savage is going to find the opener onto Pasha, and that's the bathroom player, DBNO. Now you focus on the next target. Now you focus on where the next defender is going to be, and you feel like Shepard. Oh no, Dan gets the res, and Savage isn't able to find the kill.
That's a huge cross, doesn't matter. Kendrew will get that confirmation. Down goes Dan, and that goes Shepard as well. Pasha on 20 HP, won't be able to fire one. Kendrew marches in, gets the kill, and gets Team Secret around. Very well done. You gotta wonder, how was Dan able to cross with Savage watching? Was he just quicker on the draw? You'd imagine so, but Secret, very well done. Get themselves a level, and we've got a close matchup on our hands, I've got a feeling.
And you think for outsiders they'll be a little bit disappointed not to win that round when you consider the impact always had in the first minute. He got himself 2 kills on the 2 very important operators, but you got to give credit to Team Secret. They didn't rush, they didn't panic, they worked through and they were able to find a way to win that round. So we are now going to CCTV Cache, the site that, you know, as of the last year and a half, has kind of become the tertiary site here. Some teams don't even like going here. Some will go down into stage because they prefer playing the site. But looking at the operators that are available, what do you make of this? We're bringing Maestro again, and I know that Maestro was brought in Clubhouse last time and used again up and around Rafters. Didn't really work out too successfully that time.
I'm just thinking about this, like, Maestro not a common operator. I think like sits around like a 9% pick rate, so it's not great, not terrible. Massive impact. I mean, this is an older school style of play, and I'm not really surprised it comes from outsiders. They were never a roster that would necessarily be the quickest moving with the times. They would play simple, basic Siege, but they would play it near flawlessly. That looks like what we're in store for here again. No Monty to walk up those stairs as well, so you're going to brute force it. Lots of utility on this wall, and they'll try and clear it away. Shepard might consider him a bandit tricking. Exactly what he'll do, but he falls off that very quickly. A good use utility. Wall open very quickly. Actually, it's 1 salmon, 1 extra thermic use, but that wall now absolutely an abyss to stare into, and they're going to all drop away, not even leaving one person to hold the cross.
Well, it's open plan living now. And
Astro is holding the cross. My bad.
Yeah, well, you gotta. Astro will hold it for a little bit. Now Kendry is going to drone out this side to see maybe if he can get some pressure over by radio. And he does manage to get his cam, but it's spotted. And, you know, he gets a little bit of intel the fact that Shepard is playing in by the bomb chassis. But he does lose a little bit of intel. So with 1 minute and 50 seconds left on the clock, Dan's still on the roam with the Legion. And, okay, did the cam spot Dan or not, Whip? That's the question I'm going to ask now.
Oh, I don't even want to gamble that one. Let's go, yes. Let's go for the sake of Secret. They know where Dan is. Hopefully. Well, his phone's going to ring off in the distance. I'm sure they'll be able to find it now at minute 30. Lots of bodies deep inside of construction. It's time to force your way on in. You've got a bandit with a C4, and Pasha with 3 toxic canisters, and Dan, who's now going to be a little bit seeing red with very little HP, and he tries to take a brawl, and is unfortunately going to get slain out by Grubby. Gets that kill, gets that confirmation. Savage down below will look for an up nade. Kendry finds 1 more on the Shepherd, and you begin to feel the Team Secret are going to mount the pressure. Execution arriving soon, another up nade, but always gets 1, and he has a magazine with 81 rounds of pain to send down range. And if you don't deny him from that cross, like no one's there, you might just give Maestro complete free reign. This is a disaster waiting to happen for Secret.
Yeah, that Alda, whenever it sings out its song, can be a problem. Kendry's the one with the diffuser, and he's by main breach, as always, begins to take some gunfire from down below. So it forces him into the corner. Now he's going to unleash some of those rounds again, and he will find Savage, turns his attention to the breach. He's going to get another one. Pasha with a toxic base, gets one for himself, and always with the Alda, sees out the round, and not for the first time in our lives, we see the big man with the big gun coming in clutch with a round win.
Yeah, just because Maestro's only got a 9% pick rate doesn't mean he's good. I mean, yes, okay, he's not very popular in the meta, but outsiders using him perfectly. Well done. Always had complete control, and that's why you leave someone on that CC balcony. The fact is that Astro rotates away to help from this primary push in construction. There's no pressure anymore. You completely leave Rafters uncontested. He walks up the 90. He can contest your radio jumping. He can contest your deep cross to green box. He can even fight the breach. He was able to fight towards lounge as well. Without that control on balcony, you give the opportunity. Big fumble from Secret on that regard. Outsiders took full advantage, and they get themselves the lead once again.
Yeah, they're in the lead now, and Team Secret, they went through the checklist of that round pretty well. They got control and construction, they got the main breach open, but you cannot answer for somebody on the Alda whenever they're hitting shots just like that. So, always Whip it, 7-1 after 3 rounds. We've seen Pasha pop off, we've seen Shepard pop off, we've seen Joystick pop off, and now we've seen Always do it as well. maybe now I'm starting to think that they're back.
Maybe. Okay, listen, I said I wasn't going to wear I'm not wearing my rose tinted goggles. Now let me put them back on really quickly. Okay, right. Outsiders, they're back. Oh, look at this. It's the core that won Raleigh. They're so good. And the bandit trick. Pasha is going to really rain on the parade of Grubby there. You know, he puts down his utility. Now it's gone. And that's going to be that easy point of entry they thought they would have had inside of CC. Now gone. They'll have to work around it. Astro tries to put some pressure directly inside of Jim, knows it's clear, his teammate's running ahead of him, and he'll just walk on in. But Joystick sends up Adam stairs and finds one to Slebin. You'll wave goodbye to Dokkaebi, you'll wave goodbye to those logic bombs, and that's the problem. And Dan is very much aware of this angle. And Gibby, who have we seen use this angle before?
We've seen it a couple of times, but Astro's unable to hit the shots as Dan falls back into sight with the castle. Now, we talk about the fact that the thermite was tricked. They still have, you know, actually no, not the thermite. They've still got a lot of hard breach to use. They've still got 2 aces in the pocket. They've still got those can openers as well if they want to get some pressure mounted from above. So Astro now begins to take garage control. Dips back into CCTV again, but with 1:30 left to go, Outsiders, they got the opening pick. They've fallen back onto site. They're doing exactly what you got to do when you're defending basement on club. And now Team Secret really need to be the aggressors.
Yeah, 1 player down. You need to get that. You need to get that advantage leveled. You need to get that 1 pick to kind of get yourself back to a level playing field. Otherwise, you're constantly fighting that uphill battle. Grubby will try and send some fire down below to flush out these power positions. Seems to be just a little bit cautious of waiting for the right call to do so. Shepard sends a C4, gets on the Savage, and right now with a minute left to work with, you don't really see a way in for Secret in this round. Triple wall is completely reinforced, no heados to work with, and all electrified. No direct avenue for Secret. This is old school Siege played absolutely perfectly from Outsiders, and Secret, they've got no gas in the tank for this one. They are going to have to go for desperate scorched earth methods, and they'll ascend themselves in through Ash Rush deep inside of Armory. But does Outsiders know? Have they read into it? Have they spotted it? The plant goes down, and seemingly they finally clued in. MP7 extended barrel, tries to brawl, but there's no sticks going to happen out. It's going to be a wash, a swarm of Outsiders leaving it all down the Grubby. Couldn't hold across against that many bodies, and with 20 seconds, Outsiders should coast this round out. Heroics needed for Grubby, but I can't imagine he'll find it, and he'll only walk into the arms of Shepard, who shuts it down. Outsiders, absolutely brilliant round from them.
This has been another good round back-to-back. They got the opening pick. They fell back onto site, and you forced Team Secret through that little hole that was made by Sledge to try and get the plant down. I really like the way Outsiders are playing so far in this one, and they've rushed into this lead. If they win the next round, as we go back to Gym Bedroom, which is the site that they did previously lose, they are going to start to look very, very good for winning map number 1 in this series. And I know it's a bold statement with only 4 rounds played, but I'm getting the feeling straight away watching this one that Outsiders are clued in. But here's why I pose a question with it.
Okay.
They've already played 3 maps, so they're coming into this warm. You know, Secret, they've had to sit back and watch. It's been a long time since they played. Does this, you know, the hot aim of these Outsiders players last all the way through the series, or did Team Secret start to play themselves into some form?
Ooh, that's a difficult question. It's a almost classic debate of esports in Siege. Is the team that had the rest going to be at the advantage, or the team that just played the extra map? Outsiders, they've got a lot of experience. They've had players who have seen some of the longest games in history. You know, just throw your mind to an SI not too long ago where they had to play 20 plus rounds of Coastline. Imagine.
Unlimited OT.
Oh, the torture. Imagine playing Coastline that many times. I wouldn't even want to think about that. But they clearly are a team that has stamina, right? They have players that have been there, done that. The question is when Secret do get warmed up, when Secret get themselves into a rhythm in this series, will they be able to begin to kind of quench the flames of Outsiders? So far, not really having that answer. Strategically, they seem to have sound ideas, but they're not fully executing on them.
Yeah, well, you think back to their CCTV cache, it was all down to the Alda playing on rafters. They just had no answer for it, but they had an answer for everything else that Outsiders put their way. So now, with a minute gone on the clock already, Astro has secured the garage for his team. Now you got to think about where you move next. There is barbed wire on red stairs, meaning that you will feed information to the player playing inside. of cash right now, and it's always once more. And we saw what always did last time we were here. He got himself a 2-piece. Is he going to add another one, or will Astro, whenever he decides, be able to drop that nade perfectly through the hole that's been created and get a pick?
With that Valkyrie in play, I imagine they have a camera that can relay all the information needed. We saw how good that network was set up from Outsiders. And that's going to be a huge flurry. Down a joystick at the opening picks of that one. Massive for the side of Outsiders, and you got to feel that Secret now. Little bit of a DEFCON 5 situation. Your initial plan out the window. Time to try and find that desperation pick. Where will it arrive? And this is the problem. That CC push completely gone. Now, do you vault the windows? Do you open Jacuzzi? What express avenues do you have? And the real answer is not that many. So sit down and try and lurk and kind of try and look for that opening pick. Look for something, because this round isn't presenting anything for Secret.
Yeah, Slebin with a pre-fire around the corner, but always is there to pick up the kill once more, putting us into a 5 versus 2. 50 seconds left to go, and Grubby is halfway up main stairs. Going to begin to creep his way on up. There is a default cam in place, which if someone is watching, will be able to feed the information, but nobody was watching. Shepard does trade it back, but joystick has fallen. Kendrew looking to see if he can get a free pick through the hatch, but with 30 seconds left to go. Right, well, but how many times has Kendrew been in 3v1s, 4v1s today? It's
nearly too many to count, and it's not going to last too long as he takes a moment to contemplate the C4s that arise. Look at a good POV of this one. Like, huh, yeah. Yeah, he knew. We all knew it was over from that moment. And that's yet another round for the side of Outsiders. That's now 3 in a row. Timeout called, and I can only imagine it's going to be from Team Secret. They've not got into this game at all. They've not got any momentum. They've not got themselves anything at all. They struggled to get into this. Outsiders in complete and utter control.
And Tat is going to force a timeout by Team Secret. Last time they took a timeout, it worked out pretty well. They went on to win a game on Chalet against Navi. But the deficit is a lot larger this time. You're 3 rounds down against Outsiders who have been playing. Somebody said, look, Always is going 8-1. Shepard is 7-2 after these rounds. Those two guys have been on a burner so far on this map. Shepard this whole day, probably the MVP of the day, regardless of what happens in the rest of today's fixtures. And if you're Team Secret, you got to find a way to either get those players in 1vx's where you've got a chance to trade it back, or try to attack maybe another area of the map to force them to move from their position.
And Shepard is the scariest player, I think, in the server right now. I think so.
Yeah.
Is there a more clinical 1vx player than Shepard? I don't really think there is. I mean, think of all these iconic moments, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, you know, that's the biggest, like... I described, like, Kansan's 1v5 at SI as a Shepard moment. Because that's how clinical it was. He's a problem for any team. Pasha has been fantastic in the series, but Always is now standing up and saying, yeah, let me go huge as well. Team Secret need to shut down these key high influential players early in rounds. They need to find a way in. They need the opening stages. They need those first few gunfights to go in their way. And that means you got to get Grubby a little bit more activated. You got to get Savage a little bit more heated up. You got to get Sebin firing on all cylinders as well. And they've brought a Monty this time. And I'm going to put Grubby on it.
Yeah, and it's a strange one. Grubby, one of the more deadly players that they have. They've put him onto Monty, which means that his firepower has been severely taken down a notch or two, but they will begin opening the breach. They know that there's a bandit trick, so this time around they're going to go for the old-fashioned Maverick trick. Hopefully there's an extended barrel on that thing as well. I know you're a big fan, Whippet, of the extra damage that Maverick can now bring with that extended barrel.
A new bit of technology. I'm a fan of the new tech when it drops, you know? I mean, it's a 2-shot assault rifle. You can't really complain with that one. You don't even need to be good to hit your shots and be able to find success with it. So the Maverick trick is successful. They've cleared the reinforcement off the wall. Self-destruction will arrive now and open that up for everyone to use it, and they have that access point. So again, a throwback, a little bit of an old school Siege style of play that we haven't seen in a while. Grubby walks in and realizes, oh yeah, there's a Maestro on rafters. That's not going to be fun. It's Always once again. I need to try and find a way to clear him. But with the pressure on that breach means he doesn't have that freedom of movement. They begin to try and force him out of position. But without without anyone backing up that Monty and with Joystick inside of Lounge, this is a very, very dangerous position for Secret. They are a single mistake or a single wrong gunfight taken from this round completely collapsing.
You really need the Iana in there with the nades, or even get some flashes up to try to take some ground up on rafters. But the problem is with the Alda, you can just keep firing. Always doesn't need to stop the reload. There's no openings created by that from that scenario, so they would need to do that. But a big problem they have right now is Joystick, and Joystick is going to get taken down by Astro. Shepard manages to find a separate kill the other way to technically trade it back, and there's Savage taken down always as they finally secure Rafters control. Now the Monty becomes very oppressive, but with a minute left on the clock, you've still got 3 of those toxic bays in the pocket of Pasha. And this ain't something new. This ain't something we've never seen before playing on this site. They just need to keep them alive. And there's Astro getting the kill. So now it opens up the door to win the round. Shepard's going to fall as well, leaving it all down to Dan. Grubby can just lock him out with the Monty. And surely this is a round one for Secret. Yeah, look, he's just staring. Oh, he finds one, but Monty just doesn't need to move.
Why aren't you planting, Savage? Where are you? Okay, there he is.
There we go.
Right, the case will go down. Now he's... Yeah, no, Dan, this is dangerous. This is dangerous. So no, he gets the trade. He got the trade. It was the skeleton key that set that one up. Oh, no. Oh, I was very worried for Team Secret there. When I saw that yellow ping on Buck, I went, nah. I went, nope. I thought it was done and dusted. I believed in Dan. He's won a Pro League final in a clutch on that site before. But unfortunately for Outsiders, Secret will get that round. 2-round advantage moving into the offensive half. Not bad from Outsiders. Not bad at all.
I saw my career in tatters whenever I said there's no way they could win this round whenever he got the kill on the Monty.
Perfect. It would have been the most beautiful caster curse I have ever seen. Ever.
And we've been privy to a few of them. You know, we've been pretty bad. You know, you think back to some events we've worked where teams were 5-1 up, and we were like, yep, there's no way they lose this.
Yeah,
just back-to-back 5-1 halves over and over again.
We should have known, though. It was SSG. We should have known.
And we're Irish. You know, you've got that side of things, too. Some people say luck of the Irish. I'm not so sure.
No, very much the opposite. The unluck of the Irish might be a more applicable sentence from whenever we hop on the mic here for these teams. But side swap, this is the most influential moment. Round number 7. Can Secret get themselves off to a good start on the defense? And what will Outsiders do? Looks like a very aggressive, very quick and high tempo initial push. They've got control of Strip Club. They've got this long angle down inside a bar set up, established and held by Dan. This is a very, very efficient run. And Savage, he has no idea. He'll spot it out now. He'll send some warning shots down range, but he doesn't even want to dare dance with that technology. He's like, right, okay, whatever that is, don't want anything to do with it. I'll probably go back to site.
We do have some shotguns in play as well. You know, Solace selecting to take the shotgun this time around. You do have a pretty good secondary, though, in the back pocket, so it's not the worst thing in the world taking that shotgun, but it is just a matter of how much time Grubby can use in this position. Getting aggressive on the hatch, I have no problem with this whatsoever. The nade drops at his feet, but he got the DBNO. It's going to be tough. He's not finishing it off, but he does get away with his life, and that could be as important as this round continues to go on.
Yeah, he's lost both his impacts for that one. Always sank a nade investment into that one. He's brought himself to 20 HP. It was a scrappy fight. You know, you got to wonder if he had the P90, would have been a little bit easier. But again, time wasted. You now have to worry about a Solace upstairs. And Grubby's not conceded control. He's going to try and scrap and fight as long as he can. Oh, no. Oh, millimeters away from getting a pick the joystick. Minute 20, and he'll fall on back. Good decision, but Joystick's in rapid pursuit. He'll try and hunt him, chase him all the way, and he's going to go all the way to bottom main as well. Do they know about this one? He'll hear the reinforcement of Joystick. Well, he just misses that opportunity, but they don't know. They will now, however, as Bandit takes an absolute beating. That will be Astro. But Secret, they're going to happily let Outsiders have control. They'll wait. They'll play the time.
5v5 with 55 seconds left on the clock, and now the Bandit's going to put down that utility. They've gone full retreat mode. Shepard's going to just pop that, and that Goyo was actually going to force him into sight. He takes a little bit of damage, but it does delay the push a little bit more. The hatch has now been opened as well, as Outsiders get all of the places into position. Joystick trying to find a freebie in towards Church, but he's forced to go back up those Astro stairs. 29 seconds to go, Whippet, and everybody is primed and ready for that first gunfight, and Astro's in it.
Shepard's alive. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to be a problem. The opening pick goes for Always, and Kendrew falters deep inside his sight. Joystick looks for Savage and finds it. He'll find a second one, and there's Always for one more as well. It's all down to Astro alone, but it doesn't even matter. Dan shuts it down. 20 seconds, 10 seconds, who cares? You're Outsiders, you've been there, done that, seen it all before, and they'll get themselves another round. The reign of terror on Clubhouse continues. Team Secret, you gotta find an answer, find it soon, otherwise Outsiders might run away with this map.
5-2 lead, 2 rounds away from taking a 1-map advantage inside the upper bracket final. So we move into a round now for Team Secret that you do feel has even increased importance. You go back down to the same site once more. You've got a similar setup, but some role switches. Savage this time is going to hop onto the Solace. Grubby has decided to go with the Oryx, so he will be able to maneuver his way around the map with increased efficiency. That's one of the benefits that Oryx does bring. You know, a good friend of ours, another caster from NA, likes to keep reminding us Oryx is the fastest operator in the game.
I haven't heard that quote in a long time. It's been a little while.
We haven't worked together since CL, so it's been a month or two. Like,
that is true. That is true. It was a nice quiet period, a nice relaxing time, not having to deal with you on a daily basis. But alas,
I still had to deal with you. For chat, Whippet would just message me every day, and I was like, oh, what does he want this time? Grubby wants to kill, but he's not going to get it on that run out.
Didn't quite find it. I like it though. This is what I like, right? So a team is down, and they're going to take calculated, aggressive decisions like that. He didn't sit in that doorway for too long. He just jumped out, quick little peek, tried to catch someone from construction, didn't land it. He would have looked like the best player in the world if he landed it, but unfortunately, no one was there. But I still like the thought process behind it.
Now you're doing the same thing that was done a little bit earlier. Open up that construction. It means that Grubby's rotational areas are just reduced ever so slightly. Savage playing below can use his ability to determine where the attackers are. Are they droning? Are they using those Iana clones? He can feed all of this information to Grubby from below. Astro on the roam as well, so with a minute gone already, they're still very, very aggressive, these Team Secret players. I would assume that in the next 20 to 30 seconds, you'll see them start to retreat.
We might see 2 or 3 dead Team Secret members, or Outsiders members. As look at that one. The opening pick goes for Grubby, but Joystick says, no, sit back down, You're not going to get that one. He's got full information, and through the wall finds Astro. Steven gets Always, but Joystick decides he's going to fight, scrap and brawl his way for top 4 control. He still has to worry about Steven, but now is that rotation. Now is this player's falling back. No one's in a position to catch these crosses, so Steven gets back safely. So does Savage. Nice and easy. Calm, relax. Secret, 3 versus 3. They can still win this round on time.
Yeah, you've got a minute and 20 left to go, which is a lot of time. It obviously feels like a lot longer for the defenders than it does for the attackers, because it's just the way the time seems to work. But you still have Thermite. You can still get some of those hatches open. You still got Ace, so opening lines of sight is not going to be a problem for Outsiders. The problem, though, is the fact that Secret have fully, entrenched themselves on the site now, and they're going to be very difficult to clear from this position. And you look at the other problem with it, there's 2 of those impact needs in the back pocket as well. So whenever they try to breach kitchen, if they try to breach kitchen hatch, it should be easily dealt with.
You can imagine so. 2 Selmas, 2 impact nades should be pretty easy to deny. If that Selma charge... Oh, this is a gamble now. Surely you should be able to trick this one. Will Kendry be daring him to do it? It will be Savage, and I think it missed as well. So the hatch is now open. You'd imagine in that scale of utility balance, they would have won that one out. 20 seconds. Hatch is open. Vertical established. It is time for a classic. They'll drop, they'll scrap, they'll brawl. Joystick will backstab from blue, but slain by Sleben. Savage will get one more, leaving Shepard and wants him again a 1vx. But this time the odds ever so stacked in his against his favor. Gets shut down, drops on in the waiting arms of that P90 of Savage. Secret get themselves one more round. They close themselves closer to Outsiders, but it still seems so far away.
It's a long way back, but it's a start. And that's the way the Team Secret need to look at it. They need to take that one round mentality. Don't think about the overline scoreline. Just think about clawing each individual round back, because you are only 2 rounds behind now. You are on defense. It is Clubhouse. Everybody knows how to defend when you're playing on all of these sites. So it's just a matter of taking it, as I said, round by round and not giving Outsiders easy picks. And that's something I think Team Secret have done a good job of. They've not necessarily given Outsiders free kills or untradeable kills. They've done a good job of that so far tonight. And if they can keep playing like that, maybe get a little bit more luck, maybe not get mowed down by an Aldo, which thankfully won't happen them when they're on defense, they should be able to pull back another round or two.
You'd imagine so. The real thing I want to see Secret improve on in these rounds is those opening engagements. That's where they've been really struggling. I mean, just look at that initial fight on top main. Like, yes, Grubby gets the opening pick, instantly traded. Astros have got a drone on him. Joystick takes that freebie every day. It's a flurry of kills. Sleben gets one on the other side of the map, and it leaves it in a 3 versus 3 very quickly. A team like, Outsiders, you would imagine they're going to be more comfortable in those difficult situations. I mean, there's a massive experience on Secret, but there are still some new faces in this side. And if Secret can just not get themselves traded or find, those 2 pieces, they might be able to be a little bit more successful in this matchup. They're running out of rounds, running out of time to do so. Outsiders a single round away from finding themselves on map point.
1 round away, but we've seen it in the past, but getting match point sometimes can be the easy part. Winning from that point is when teams maybe struggle. We spoke about the 1 round mentality for Secret. Well, we always talk about the 1 more round mentality on attack. Sleben is going to try to bandit trick. He does stop the ace, but Thermite is going to open up the huge hole inside of that wall, and Sleben's now forced to fall back to top red to use that shield to prevent any entry on the site. Now that you've got that wall open for Outsiders, though, it opens up a couple of different options. Now you can flip to construction and pinch the site from there. You can try to take control of rafters as well. They've enabled the rest of their attack by opening that wall, and getting that opening pick makes it even easier.
That's how a pick that you cannot get away with. You cannot sacrifice Secret. Now they'll get that trade, they'll get on the joystick, and there's no big explosion in the kill feed. That's good for Secret. They've struggled to deal with these engagements, and they'll get 1 more onto Dan, and there's no one there to trade it for the side of Outsiders. So, advantage sits with Secret, and Pasha nearly gets caught up with a player down in the oil pit. That could have been a massive problem. Well, control established, and now for Secret. Advantage. 1 player up, sit back, relax, let the time do the talking. And we've got a little bit of an update real quickly. We have Makers Navi. It's 5-3 in favor of Makers in that matchup down in the lower bracket. Navi struggling with form so far today.
Yeah, and Makers taking the win or leading the way so far on Chalet. But still, we've got a game going on right now, and another wall's being opened. No, he didn't. I thought for a second he might have shot his own bit of utility there, but now they're starting to put some pressure on site. There's 40 seconds left to go. You're down a number, and all of those Team Secret players are locked into their positions. They've all got a very specific job to do. Always is going to throw that nade in towards the bathroom. Sleben goes down to just a slither of HP, of HP, as Shepard makes his way onto Gym Window. I think we all know what Outsiders are trying to do, but say it with me, Whippet. There's a frost.
Oh no. Oh no, if they vault on in this one, it could be absolutely catastrophic. They'll get 1 onto Astro, but now they vault on it, and it's perfect coordination! They jump in, and the Pog mats are waiting. Absolutely beautiful. And that's a round for Secret.
I think they missed the memo, Whippet. They didn't say it with us.
They certainly didn't. It was beautiful. That was chef's kiss. Kendra cooked up a delight with that one. Oh my. Oh my.
So we have seen the very best of outsiders today, and we have seen the very memeiest of outsiders today. Where would you put that in regards to the chalet attack we saw a little bit earlier, where always fell off the roof?
It's a difficult one. It's a very difficult one today. I mean, it's been a weird day for outsiders, you know. They had an unusual game of chalet, I think would be a way to say it. They lost a round to a group of pacifists. And we've seen the most coordinated Pogmat double I've ever seen. So they've had a lot of success today, I would say, in terms of at least farming some clips.
Oh, well, that's it. They've kept us going anyway. They've kept us happy, which is the main one as we move back to the next round. Team Secret now finding themselves just one round behind, and if Team Secret win this one, as you always like to say, we will see every single round in regulation at that point. So, what do you have, Team Secret? You've crawled your way back in. You almost... Well, Dan does a little bit more damage back the other way, but both players just trading tickles when you look at the damage feed from that.
Just poke each other going, hello, I'm over here. Oh, I'm over here too, poke. You know, Dan done better at that one, though. He done more damage, so I think worthwhile trade early days, you know. It's a numbers game, Gibby. You know, every little victory.
There we go. We'll get that wall open now as well. So there's an entry point that's been created for the side. It is looking like there's not too much of a roam presence. Anybody that is roaming is on the top floor and always will look to just make his way across. So, with a minute gone already, how on track would you say outsiders are on this attack to getting everything that you get done?
So far, so good. Oh, he's hunting. So Astro now has, delivery, and no one's home. He'll get, but tell you what, who is home? Joystick, hello. Absolutely.
That was good.
Brilliant raid. I mean, that's perfect. I mean, you asked how on track they were to win this round. There's a pretty good one. Solace, high impact operator, now gone. And Pasha will find one more pick on the Savage, meaning a lot of pressure is now on this pick, and Grubby finds it to always. That's a lifeline. Not level yet, still one player down, but that's what they needed. One little ray of hope in a round.
And Pasha's taken a lot of damage as well, as has Grubby. So those players, well, it doesn't necessarily need to be a headshot anymore as they look to take advantage of the round. Pasha now will look to push his way on into construction because Dan's just outside the window, and he will begin using those Roteros to clear position again. Grubby is tempted to go for another peek, but he's been spotted out and forced back a little bit deeper. There's Sleben finding Pasha now. It's a 3 versus 3. Team Secret just never saying die in this game, as they're now just 40 seconds away or 3 picks away from leveling the sides.
What a story this would be for Secret. Absolute grit, determination, fighting, brawling, scrapping their way back to a level standing. 30 seconds. Terror drone detonates, and Kendrew, he's gonna find one. He's gonna make it 2. He won't make it 3 quickly, but damage is done. Case is cold, and Dan drops into the Viper's nest. It's Kendrew waiting. Secret are now and finally level here on Club.
Let him cook. Let him cook. King Kenny is on a bit of a run today so far, and Team Secret have clawed it back from 5-2. And well, we've spoke about it before, the impact that a good coach can have to a side. That's another tactical timeout that was taken by Secret when they were 5-2 down, and they've won 3 rounds on the trot since.
Wow. They forced an outsider's timeout as well. Round 11. Both these teams level 5 rounds apiece. And I have a feeling, Gibby, I've got a theory, right? Outsiders, they've played 3 maps already. Team Secret, they've played 2. They're warming up. They're getting themselves back in that big game mentality. And are we seeing just that little bit of fatigue setting in from outsiders in these later rounds? Pressure builds, pressure mounts. Can Secret take full advantage, or has this timeout settled the nerves? Let the coach of outsiders in, calm them down, prep them for this as we go down to the basement, Church and Arsenal. And you'd imagine with how high this defensive win rate is for Secret, they might be knocking on the door of a map point.
I'm really excited now. I really are. Team Secret, we thought they were down, we thought they were out, but they've clawed their way back on in. The early advances that were being made by people like Shepard and Always, they've been slowed down just a little bit. Look at that. Kendrew, 9 and 6. And it's not necessarily his job to get that many kills in a game, but he's doing it and it's working.
Not his job, but it's his speciality, I would say. I mean, he is one of those players on that support role. Like, he's on, typically on that thermite on the offense, you know? Kind of rolling back that kind of climate. You see, kind of almost flashing back to the Goga era of hard support. You need someone to just find 1, 2, maybe 3 picks. It's going to be Kendrew. He's just in those positions now. Sometimes he gets left in a 1v3, or 1v4, or 1v5, 4 or 5 times a series. But nonetheless, he can have those moments. And that's not his fault. It's the rest of the team that died around him. And, ooh, well, okay. So.
It's a trade.
It's a trade. A perfect trade. Now, it wasn't towards each other, but well done. And Dan is about to walk on the site. Kendrick will smoke him off, delay that pressure, but already Secret beginning to think about how close Outsiders are to an execution, and we only have 2 minutes. We have 2 minutes 20 left.
Yeah, you got to fall back because at that point, Kendrew is saying, you know, I'm in a 1v1 on site. You guys are all roaming and there's a player on dirt. Now, the dirt player has changed position, but it does force the hand of those defenders. They need to fall back to site a little bit earlier, and I love it. I think it's a fantastic decision, but now Grubby hasn't fallen back. He's a little bit more aggressive than that, and he will still look to find the kill to give Team Secret the numerical advantage once more. But he's got to be careful because Shepard is not that far away, and we know how good Shepard is.
Shepard can probably smell players to this point. He just knows where you are. He can hunt you down, find you wherever you are. But it looks like for Secret, at least, Grubby on that aggressive position has now fallen back. Minute 30 left in this round. A second toxic canister tossed out by Kendrew. Slevin will find one to joystick, and problems only begin to mount for Outsiders. Dan will creep down all the way, but look who he's waiting on. The open arms, the shotgun in the hands of Kendrew, and he's just waiting to let that buckshot fly. Every second makes this a little bit more scary. He might have saw the laser. Will he check deep? He's got his own shotgun, and it doesn't even matter. Kendrew, he got the dog in him, shuts it down, and with a minute left, all the problems for Outsiders.
You've been waiting to say that all day, and I think you picked the right time, but now it's a 3 versus 2. Kendrew is low HP, but they know exactly where these Outsiders players are. Shepard will look to just stun flash his way on down, but he's going to get his knee taken out by Grubby, and there's just one player left to deal with, and that's Pasha. He's inside of sight right now. He spots the camera, but he doesn't shoot it because he doesn't want to give away his position just yet. But it doesn't matter. Grubby gets him through the AKs. It is match point Team Secret, and who would have said that 4 rounds ago?
Oh my! What? What a little run this is from Secret. Again, my dark horse coming into this one was going to be Team Secret, right? They've been kind of slowly building at the lower half of EUL during Stage 3. They've been finding that identity, molding this side. They've had a good boot camp with Twister in person, and this is a very reinvigorated side from them. Map point here on Clubhouse, and lest I remind you, this is the map choice of Outsiders.
It is the Outsiders pick, and Team Secret have a chance to win it right now. But you spoke about the fact they're having a boot camp. You know, how confident are you going to feel when you've got Twister saying bomb to you every single morning instead of, to your person instead of on Twitter? We have a lot of love for that man. But I spoke with Savage, and he was saying that Kendrew is being an incredible player to play with. He said, keep an eye out on Astro. I think Savage knew something that a lot of us maybe didn't going into this weekend, and he's proving his point so far.
This has been a absolutely brilliant performance from them so far. I mean, I came into this one. I was an Navi stan coming into this weekend. I saw the Jegs pick up. I saw potential they've been slowly building as well. But Secret absolutely blew my expectations out of the water. This has been fantastic from them. Yes, still map 1 of a best of 3. But this, hold your heads up high, no matter how the sense are Secret. Map point against Outsiders, and they look in fantastic form to close this one out. And Grubby decides to let himself a little bit loose, a little bit aggressive, trying to look for something. Doesn't arrive for him. But momentum, passion, all of it's with Secret right now. And Savage finds the opening pick to Pasha.
This is getting a little bit tricky now for Outsiders. All Team Secret need to do is not give away those free picks that other teams have been really guilty of doing in the past. That's how you let Outsiders back in. So you've got Astro playing by red. You've lost the shield, and the drone will be able to tell the teammates that you're there. So you fall back in through the re-rotate. You position yourself a little bit closer to radio, and now the Flores drone is going to go in, but he's long gone. He's moved. He ain't there anymore. And this isn't even the site. That's the problem. Once you get through Sleben, you still need to get through construction. You need to force your way on in. This nade, the intel's just a little bit late as Grubby takes down Dan.
Oh.
That nade's a little bit better. And it's a 4v3. But you've still got a lot of work to do.
Minute 25 to work with. Advantage for players is with Secret. Can they just hold on a little bit longer? The next engagement could be key. Have you just spotted what I've seen underneath that hatch? Right. We've seen some whimsical frost map moments. Joystick, he's put the drone on the frost map. Now, I've seen this go wrong from his perspective before. Always, he knows. Good. All right, he knows. All right, he's been saved. But if they drop in, they've got two players of Secret ready, and the player down below. Always, does he know? Joystick certainly does, but every moment they spend in Logi, you feel like the wolves are prowling, but Joystick gets on the Grubby, and he might be able to cause an absolute mess of damage. He falls through the rotate, and here comes Joystick. We've seen what he can do before. Astro gets on to always. Joystick will try and battle, but doesn't matter. Shut down, and Kendrew finds Shepard to find victory on the very first map of the series. They take Clubhouse, the map pick of Outsiders. What a run from Secret.
I genuinely thought that Outsiders had that game won. I thought it was a foregone conclusion, but they took a timeout. They did a couple of very good things, and they were able to crawl their way back on. And but I still can't get over that double frostmat whip. But it was so perfectly synced.
I mean, that's one of the best moments I've seen so far. But Secret, I mean, they were trailing massively in this matchup, and they had that timeout. They spoke to Twister. They got their mentality right, changed that pace, and then they took the fight to Outsiders. Absolutely perfect from them. They take the opening map of the series, and what a bit of momentum boost that is for them.
It is, and momentum can only grow. They go to their map pick next, but I think it's time we take a quick little break, and then the desk will take you through what happened in game number 1.